So I'm going to show you the process of identifying an unknown plant using the iNaturalist website. It's easier for me to show you the website. You also can do this on the app. All the same functionality I think should be there. So this is my own site. I've got an account with iNaturalist. You'll probably need one as you get set up. Over here is an add observations. There's a big button on the app that also is an add observations feature. On the app, you can do this live, so you can hit the Add Observations button and take a picture. If you enable georeferencing for your photographs, then all that data will be contained there already. What I'm going to do is upload from my desktop computer here, and we can get kind of the same experience. So I'm going to click on Add Observations and choose some photos. So I'm going to go over to photos I've taken as part of preparing for this course, and let's try a here's one that's probably pretty straightforward. Okay, so we've put it up here, and the location field is not filling in. This is not currently a georeferenced location, so I can go in, I could search for a place. If I know the latitude, longitude, I could type those in at the bottom here, but I'm going to say this was at Spring Green, and it fills that in, Spring Green, Wisconsin, USA. What it's doing here is giving kind of a cone of uncertainty, so I can actually drag this around, shrink it down, and say, well, I don't remember exactly where I was in the Spring Green Preserve, but it was, say, somewhere in this region. Gives people the idea that you may not know exactly where that plant was found, but somewhere in this area. So here we have latitude, longitude have filled in. Accuracy is there, so that's sort of the accuracy circle. So I'm going to update that, and that fills in. And then I see here it's already filled in a name for me, so I don't know if I asked for that, but why not? I'm going to click it out and disable that, and we can see the experience of finding the suggested name. So when it's not filling in, I can just click here and it loads suggestions. The app would do this for you in the field, and it's got some nice dialogue here. So up here it says, we're pretty sure it's in this genus called Hudsonia. And then down here are our top suggestions for species. So you're welcome to identify it just to genus. It's not really a complete identification if you call it genus, but it might flag it for someone else to come in and give it a more complete identification later. You also could look through some of the other choices. So the first two suggestions are the genus Hudsonia, and then it starts getting out into things that are more distantly related. So it is one of these Hudsonia. It's actually this Hudsonia tomentosa. And not only that, it says, so visually similar / seen nearby. So if your georeference is on there, it'll suggest some plants that are plausible for that area. So this is a website that deals with plants all around the world. You might have a plant that looks very much like an Australian plant, but it wouldn't be reasonable to expect that to be growing in Wisconsin. So over here on the right, you can do view. You can slip over. This is opening a new tab for me, and it's going to show me kind of a collection of information about this species. So it's suggesting it based on visual similarity. You can go through here and click through the photos. Unlike your dichotomous key, this is just pattern matching, so you may not still, at the end of this, reach 100% confidence that you're identifying the correct thing. That's where your dichotomous keys always that's where they shine, and that's where they can fill in other information. So we have the green outlines on countries where this plant is found, and then red squares for portions of those where they're found. And then if we zoom into, so notice that's pretty well represented, Wisconsin, eastern coast. So this is a reasonable distribution. It's found in our area. This is the Spring Green area where I collected this image from. So all of that's reasonable. Let's see, maybe try one. I'm not terribly familiar with this one. So let's see what, I don't know, peak rush rose looks like. So let's say we were looking at this species. You'd be able to compare images and then look down on the map. Okay, so this is one that you look at the map and you might get the feeling like this doesn't belong. So this is a plant found primarily in California, and no representatives from Wisconsin. So as people put more observations in here, there will be more evidence of species that are in Wisconsin. And so this would be unlikely. So even though it's visually similar, it's really unlikely that would be your plant. So we can click on this one, complete that down, and then submit one observation. So you can actually upload multiple photos and update all your information about them at the same time. The app allows you to do that. You can, I'm not sure if I'm allowed here to add additional photos. On the app, you can actually upload more than one photo for the same plant. So if you want to get a whole plant image and close-ups of the flowers, those are helpful. Again, it's sort of building a knowledge base around people who are interested in the species. So maybe we'll go back to go back to my home. I'm going to go ahead and leave without changing those. If you look at observations that I've made previously, these are on here with photos, with a name, location, and then I think I've shown you previously that you can get this research grade identification where somebody else has come through and verified it. So this is the photo I took, and then down here it's the ID I gave it, and then an identification that another user gave it to verify that.